Good afternoon. So great to be here. First time in Norway. Arrived on in the afternoon of Monday, about 2 o'clock, and it's been a whirlwind 48 hours so far. But for the next 3 or so hours, I'm going to take you on a bit of a journey. And I'm going to take you on a journey of 23 years working exclusively with you. I'll tell you the story right at the end as to how I started with the accounting profession. But in that 23-year period, as Orvin said, about 170,000 accountants, directly coached 800. And today we're going to be talking about some of that technology and resources and methodology on how we help double, triple, quadruple, quintuple profits in accounting firms. Along the way, wrote a couple of books. So this one came out in 2011 called Accounting Practices Don't Add Up. Did anyone actually read this book here in Norway? 1, 2. It wasn't a big seller, let me tell you, right? This one came out in 15 called Remaining Relevant. And I think a few more read that. Who read Remaining Relevant? Over here, a lot more read that. Cool. So I like to write, I like to speak, I like to build businesses that deliver good help to accountants. And just recently, this one came out called The Perfect Firm. So this one is 383 pages. Like it's a 2-pound weapon. And it came out 6 weeks ago. And really proud that it went to #1 in many categories all over the world. We've actually sold out, but the team here at Visma actually have 46 copies for the first in that get them at the break. But this is 383 pages of everything I know about the accounting profession after 23 years. Now, I'm going to make some promises to you this afternoon. #1, I absolutely promise to disturb you. This first 45, 50 minutes today is all about what's going on in your profession globally. You know, we operate on a global stage, and some of it's a bit disturbing. In fact, in about 30 minutes from now, you will meet the very first accountant's robot, as in you become a robot. It's a bit disturbing. Promise to be very blunt with you. So my style, I'm from Australia, unless you've guessed. So who's been to Australia before? Who's been to Australia? Okay, cool. Who wants to go to Australia? Cool, come on down, right? We're a small country like you. We need your tourist dollar. And those that have been to Australia or met Australians, you'll know that we're very to the point. We have a saying in my company called, "Give me the baby, not the delivery." Get to the point. And as I go through the afternoon, you will not agree with everything. In fact, talking to Erland and Orvin yesterday, and also Al, who I played golf with yesterday, some of the things we talk about are completely counterintuitive to what you've been doing. And you may not agree. I don't expect you to agree. However, if you don't agree with anything this afternoon, that'll be your problem, not mine. There's a bit of the bluntness coming out right there. For some of you this afternoon, I promise to inspire you with stories. Stories of other accountants who've done what you want to do. For example, in 2009, I met the 4-partner firm of ZJL Partners in Melbourne. And they came to a one-day event of mine. There were 4 partners making $125,000 each. They were 80% productive, so the partners themselves were very, very busy. Their average hourly rate was like $88. They're making no money, working lots of time. Fast forward 7 years, and that particular firm's now a 3-partner firm doing $3 million, 69% profit before partner salaries. So the partners are making $750 apiece. Partner time down to 20%, and their margins over $500 an hour. And there'll be many, many other stories like that this afternoon. For some of you, we need to change your mindset. You've been at this game a long time. I've been working with you for 23 years past May. And I met Tom Kalasian. And Tom was at my Orange County event in Los Angeles on August 8 last year. And unbeknownst to me, Tom was sitting through the whole day, and I put a video camera in his face at the end and said, "Hey, tell us about the day." And he said, "I'm 71 years old. I've been at this for 46 years. And I realize I've been doing it today. I realize I've been doing it wrong for 46 years. And it's a micro firm, like $100,000 in revenue, nothing. And he said, I'm deciding to start again. In the first 6 months, he doubled his revenue. Because a mindset shift needed to happen. Promise this afternoon to give you some systems. Systems that you can go away with and implement tomorrow. Systems that you can just use. You'll need some writing instruments, maybe a computer or iPad or something like that to take notes, but direct systems that you can use straight out of the box this afternoon. I want to give you the how-tos. So very specific how-tos, not just concept and strategy, but how do I actually go and do that? How do I implement that with my clients, with my team members, with my firm? Give you some tools. The tool could be a checklist, it could be a format, it could be a standard letter, some verbs. We are recording this, so I'm sure you can get the recording later on as well. And lastly, want to promise to give you some results. Let me share with you the results of accounting firms. This is the first time in Norway, so it's all fresh, so you just have to have a bit of faith on this one. Some results of some firms that we've coached, those that have implemented. So we track the performance of accounting firms. So today is day one. On Friday, I'm in Stockholm with 100 accountants or so for a workshop, day one. Let me show you what happens after day one. So day one, the average in dollars, in USD, is $947,418 average revenue. From micro firms like Tom Collagen, 100,000, through to $20, $30, $40 million accounting business as well. The average profitability is $304,915. So the starting mark. The starting mark of a third business model, which is a really stupid business model, by the way, but we'll get to that later on. And looking at, making 300,000, maybe 150 two-partner firm. When you implement, when you actually take action from today, here is the average of those firms. Average in the same data set is to 1.55 million, or a 64% increase year one. We track the results. Year two, it slows down a bit to 1.93 average, so a 24% increase in year two. So basically doubling the revenue over a 2-year period. Average profit jumps by 93%, some more, some less, of course, to $508,000. Slows down a bit in year two to about 36%, but only tripling profit in a 3-year period. You like these numbers? Yes. Okay, 3 of you do. All right, that's all right. We're just getting warmed up. 2 weeks ago, I was in Houston. And in Houston, I meet this guy here called David Hour. And I recognized him in the audience. I said, Dave, we've met before. He said the following. He said, I was at your seminar December 16, again in Houston. He's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And back then, I was doing $600,000 in revenue. Now, Dave has him plus 2 employees. So there's a 3-person accounting firm doing $600,000. I said, what are you doing today? This is 6 months later, 2 weeks ago. He said, today I'm doing 1.2 million with no overhead increase. Team, this is going to be an amazing afternoon for you. There's going to be a lot going on in your head. I'm just going to give you the baby, not the delivery, and it will be an awesome afternoon, let me promise you that. Please turn to your seat neighbor and say, this is going to be awesome. Do that now. Now, I have one rule. You can record this, you can take photographs of this, you can do whatever you want with it, but I have one rule this afternoon, and that is you must trust my structure. You must trust my process. A bit like this structure here at the Grand Canyon. Has anyone been to Skywalk at the Grand Canyon? Oh, you have. Cool. So a few over here. Right. So those that have not been, here's how it works. That is a pointer's not working right. That is a pool fence holding you in, and there's a glass bottom floor that you're looking 1.5 kilometers straight down. And you need to trust this structure to enjoy the ride, yeah? And those that have been on it would remember there's a bit where the solid piece meets the glass piece. And that next step, I must trust the structure. Now, I don't know about those that have done it before, but who's scared of heights in this room? Who's scared of heights? Yeah, cool. So I'm pretty good with these things. Skydived 16 times, bungee jumped a couple of times. But I got to the edge and I literally froze. And I realized for me to take the next step, I need to trust someone else's structure to enjoy this attraction. Now, it gave me some hope. There were already 3 fat Americans on it. I don't tell that joke in America, by the way. So anyway, I did. I did trust the structure, took that next step, started enjoying myself, and started doing these ones. I got in trouble for that one there. They wanted to kick me out. And this afternoon will be like that for you. You will need to trust my structure. You'll need to just roll with it. There'll be a lot of chatter going on in your head, if you like many others that we've spoken to before as well. But you just roll with it. Just enjoy it. Have an open mind. Have a very open mind. Let's talk about the profession. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about this wonderful accounting profession. By the way, I am not an accountant, just so you know. I left school at the age of 16, so I have no formal piece of paper. But from the age of 24, all I've done is work with you. And I realize around the world that accountants are the natural trusted advisor. No one else. Not the insurance people, not the financial planner, not the banker, and definitely not the lawyer. You are the trusted advisor. You are the ones that businesses look up to. You are the ones that should be leading business. But are you acting out your status? Here's my definition of the trusted advisor, and that is that all clients are buying every service that they need that helps them achieve their goals. Are you actually really helping your clients? Or are you being a typical compliance-based accountant who deals in redundant data, complying with the government and not really helping them? I believe that accountants can make a massive difference to your client's financial condition. You guys are really good, right? We give you a balance sheet, a profit and loss, income statement, a set of numbers, and you can analyze it like that and help your client make a difference. But how can you do that if the data is dead, if the data is old? You know, here we are in June, and you had a tax deadline last week, I believe, June 10, and you were doing company accounts, meeting with your clients, you know, talking about last year's numbers. Where's the value in that? There is no value in that. But if your client is on a real-time accounting system, a cloud accounting system, a pure internet accounting system, where you've got access to that data 24/7, you can make a difference. You've got the numbers today. You've got the numbers that happened last hour because of their point of sale, updated the whole thing. Now, you can be the real-time accountant. We believe that most business clients will buy additional services. The future is not personal income tax returns. All over the world, personal income tax returns are getting abolished by governments. No need to do them. If you are heavy in personal income tax returns, then those days are numbered. The future is business. The future is business advisor. We'll deal with that later this afternoon as to what services, and they will buy it. If you're to get on the front foot, demonstrate your value, and show them how you can help them. We believe that you can help your clients build a great business. You are the epicenter of business. You should be the leader of business, no one else. But there's a truth in leadership, that in a pack of dogs, if you're not the lead dog, then the view's always the same. How's that for a visual? And lastly, we believe that your revenue is being digitally disrupted and you need to change your business model to matter. There's a few problems. Let's talk about a few of the problems in this profession globally. Number one problem is that compliance has been commoditized all over the world. Every time there's a software update that promises you more efficiency, it means less humans involved. That means the product is getting commoditized. And you're about to see some examples of that that are playing out all over the world as we speak. Your bread and butter work, this work that you have all these humans doing, spending a big chunk of the day checking and processing data, is being commoditized. We see a problem with nimble players in the market. You know, all over the world, we've got cloud accounting, this revolution going on. In New Zealand, which leads the world on the penetration of cloud accounting in the marketplace, where 50% of small businesses have a cloud accounting platform. New Zealand has about the same population here as Norway. In Australia, we're about 30% of small businesses on a cloud accounting platform. Here in Norway, I believe 10 to 15%. United Kingdom, 7%. United States, just 5%. And Canada, 3%. But in New Zealand, we're seeing advertisements from accountants, new startups. We'll do your compliance for half as much and twice as fast. Why is that? Well, let's talk about it. By the way, this afternoon is very interactive. This is live, not TV, so I expect a response on this particular one and many others as well. So let's say we're going to start a brand new accounting firm. We're going to start a brand new firm, we have our qualifications, and we're going to start this brand new firm. What equipment do we need and how much does it cost? What do we need? Okay, live, not TV. Computer. Can we do it on an iPad? Yeah? Or a Surface, like my Surface here. What's it going to cost us? How much does an iPad or a Surface cost? What, 10,000? Yeah? So we've got 10,000 in for working capital. What else do we need? This is a low-budget accounting firm here. What do we need? One person, what do we need? Internet access. That's called Starbucks for free. This is a low-cost model. What else do we need? Who said a phone? If we're really Scottish, we could do it on a set of these things. Yeah, if we're really, we could have a phone because it doubles the scanner as well. What else do we need? Clients free on social media. What else do we need? Capital expenditure, brand new firm. Do we need an office? Back to Starbucks. Do we need a car? Uber. So for a couple of $1,000, for 20,000 or thereabout knock, we can start this firm. No infrastructure. And nimble players are starting accounting firms all over the world because of new technology to enable them to do so, wiping out the labor costs. There are far too many people employed in this profession globally. We're seeing clients have more information than ever. Uncle Auntie Google, that what we can get from there for free, I used to pay you for. And that will continue. Rich information. We're seeing clients needing help. For 23 years, the message has been the same. Accountants, be proactive, step up, make a difference, help your clients. Be the trusted advisor. That hasn't changed. But are you actually going to be it? Where all clients are buying all services that they need that helps them achieve their goals. We see a problem in training your people. Johnny or Jenny come out of university, out of college, and bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and you turn them into administrators. Get back there and processing work. Maybe in 5 or 6, 7 years' time, we may let you loose on a client on your own. We may. Don't get too carried away. And you knock the stuffing out of them. And we also see a problem, which is also an opportunity, on this whole revolution worldwide of cloud technology. But if you don't manage it, it'll take revenue away. Let's go macro and let's look at your profession globally. You are big. You are 1.27 million accounting businesses strong. Norway represents about 2,000 of that. You're nearly $500 billion in revenue. Half of your government's bankings. 406. These are 2015 figures. You employ about 6 million people. Average profit is 17.3%. Average. The firms we work with get them into the 30s and 40%. Average 17. You're a big, big profession. And if you look at this, and so what does the accountant do? Well, you've got the client over here, and you've got the government over here. What does the government want from your client? Money. On about the right time and about the right amount. You're an intermediary to process transactions between client and government. That is the majority of the function. 87% of that revenue is tax compliance and audit. 87% globally. And you sit as an intermediary between client and government. A bit like the travel agent of old. So the travel agent sat between the airline and the passenger. Let's take this trip I'm on right now. This trip I'm on right now is a 9-stop trip right around the world. And if I were to book a 9-city trip in a number of countries 20 years ago, I'd go to the bricks and mortar travel agent. And I'd say, here's my itinerary, this is where I'd like to go. And they would physically jump on the phone. And they would phone the airlines one by one, and they'd present an itinerary back to me. And they'd say, right, Rob, what do you think about this? I said, no, can you change that? Can you change that? They'd get back on the phone as the travel agent and then present it back. And finally, we'd settle on an itinerary. Now, how's it done? We just go direct. We're already linked straight into the airline's booking system. We bypass the travel agent. Where has the bricks and mortar travel agency gone? The way of the dinosaur, except for one. 4,000 outlets, the company of Flight Centre grows at 17% a year. 4,000 outlets all over the world. Started in my hometown of Brisbane, Australia. How did Flight Centre thrive while the rest died? They had to change their business model. And I look at your business model, I look at your revenue base of 87% of that as an intermediary like the travel agency between the client and the government. Do you think it could be disrupted? What do you think? Yeah, I think so. Let's have a look at how. Let's have a look at how we could disrupt the entire profession. This is the wicked plan coming out. First of all, like the travel agent, what got disrupted was the action on the phone. That's the bit that got gone by technology, right? That bit there. So if we're going to disrupt your profession, let's have a look at what you do all day. What do accountants do all day? What do you do? What do you actually do? I know you're busy. You're really busy, I get that. But what are you actually doing? Some of you partners in the room are going, that's a bloody good question, Rob. What are you actually doing? You've got meetings, sure. You're on the phone, email, talking to clients, sure. But what are you actually doing? I'm going to suggest that accountants spend a big chunk of their day checking and processing data. Checking and processing data. Here we are in June 14. And if you haven't finished all your client work, of course, you've got more to do for the rest of the year. In it comes, right, in a variety of formats. And what's the first thing you do? Check, is it all there? It's never all there. Right? Then you go back and you start it, and the client, whatever work they've done on their system, you basically code this and check this and move this and change that and double check this over here and call the client, can I just check this, can I just check that? I got one from my accountant today. Rob, can you just check this? They are checking and checking and checking and processing redundant data. How much of the day do you think? Give me a percentage. 80%? 80%. It's the same answer around the world. 80% of an accountant's day is checking and processing dead, bad, incomplete, redundant data. Welcome to your world. Why? Because if we're going to, like the telephone with the travel agent, if we're going to make you all obsolete, then we need to fix that. So why? Let me give you 3 reasons why there's so much checking and processing going on. Number 1, at your client side, they have inefficient systems. Cash, inefficient system. A paper receipt, inefficient system. A checkbook, inefficient system. Hard drive accounting, Excel spreadsheets, all inefficient systems. And the humans that are operating these things have no idea what they're doing. So when it comes to you, they might as well have not done it. Then it comes to you. You too have inefficient systems. Your accounting systems don't seamlessly interact with the client systems. Too much paper going on. And so consequently, with all this inefficiency at client side and your side, you spend 80% of your day checking and processing the data. And the third reason why there's so much checking and processing going on, because at the government side, they too have inefficient systems and questionable humans as well. I'm assuming, right? So how could this be fixed? How could this be fixed? Well, technology can fix it. This wonderful thing called the cloud. Technology all over the world, and these big companies, right? These big companies right here are doing it for you, whether you like it or not. You have Intuit with QuickBooks Online spending $2 billion right now to get that product out. Xero, who's only a small player in this country, has spent $550 million to get 1 million subscribers. Sage is spending €550 million right now to get Sage Live up. Microsoft, on November 1 last year, re-entered the ring of small business cloud accounting. Why would Microsoft do that? They've got gabillions in resources. Why would they tackle this market? Let me tell you why. I mentioned 50% New Zealand, 30% Australia. We've got about 10-15% here in Norway. We've got 7% in the UK, 5% in the United States, 3% in Canada. Globally, just 2% of small businesses are on a cloud accounting platform. Microsoft sees this as a 98% opportunity. You cannot stop this happening, team. You cannot stop these, and Visma, I'm not too sure what the budget is, but they're a big company, they're €1 billion. Big companies spending huge sums of money on internet-based technology for the small business sector. Now, the cool thing is it improves the systems. You cannot stop this happening. And you can't stop either social behavior wanting access on the device. This device, you've all got one of these devices. The device remote, you've probably used this device today. You've checked the weather, you might have checked a sporting score, you might have sent a message, checked Facebook, gone on LinkedIn, sent a text, looked at an email. You singles might have swiped left or right to get a date tonight. The device reigns supreme. So you can't stop this happening, so you might as well embrace it. So let me show you what I think you need to do as trusted advisors to help your clients improve their systems. It starts, number 1, with the accounting system. Definitely get them onto a Visma product or one of our great sponsors out here as well to get their accounting system up to speed that links into the bank account. But it's more than that for small business. We need the accounting system talking to the client management system. We need the client management system talking to the inventory control system. And we need that talking to the point of sale or the distribution system. Now, the cool thing is, many years ago, you would need to spend $1 million a year on SAP to make this happen. Now, for, next to nothing, $200 or $300, what's that? $2,000-3,000 a month, knock, we can actually get e-commerce like this happening at your client side. Full e-commerce for next to nothing. Bottom left, that is the side of a train in Sydney, Australia. Top left, Woolworths is a supermarket. Shop with your phone. Has anyone seen Amazon Go on Facebook? Amazon Go? Let me explain what it is for those who haven't seen it. Amazon is trialing a convenience store like a 7-Eleven right now. And your phone's in your pocket. You walk in. The sensors know it's you. There's no humans. You go and get your basket, collect your goods. You select your water, you select whatever else, and you walk out. And the sensor knows it's you, charges your card. There's no humans. No humans. They're going to roll that out around the world. So let's have a look at this practically. So let's say top right here, I'm buying that box with that phone. We're talking about improving the data so that the checking and processing plummets. And so that is the distribution system, bottom right, the point of sale. Phone purchased. Inventory, bottom left, is updated. There's one less box. Top left, Rob bought the box, so Rob's account's been credited with said box. And the accounting system has automatically updated the balance sheet, the cash balance, immediately. You see, by improving the systems with a different focus, the data coming to you is far more robust, far more complete, far more accurate, and real time. And if we're going to challenge the way that you do things now, with 80% of your time checking and processing data, we do it by changing the systems. And this is the difference, team, between heavy data, this book, you can buy a Kindle version, but that's heavy data. That is heavy, right? That's 2-pounder. Heavy data. Or light data. With internet data, there is no data. Now, the cool thing about this, when you start really embracing this and switching all of your clients across to cloud accounting, you can have clients all over the world. You can be an expert in anything. With technology, the client, I've got this theory, right? I've got this theory, and I've never asked this question in Norway, so we'll see if it sort of plays through here. But my theory is that about 80% of your clients live within a driving radius of your firm, about 80%. And the reason is because at some point in time, they had to bring in the heavy data to you. They had to bring it in. With internet data, they can be anywhere. Case in point. So in the 90s, I did a lot of travel to the United Kingdom, United States, and Canada. And then with accountants. And then from the year 2000, literally till last year, hunkered down just in Australia. And in that period of time, I started a software company, 01 to 05, and then from there, a coaching business from 2005, and still goes today. And we were constrained by geographic regions, so literally stuck in Australia and New Zealand for the last 16 years. And then a few years back, we thought, okay, we want to go worldwide. We want to do something different. And so, well, we couldn't deliver what we were delivering down in Australia, so we decided to digitize all of our material, all of our content, all of our methodology, put it all online. And last June, we launched in the United States with no accounting firm clients. Now, we're sitting on about 240 members who are consuming our methodology all over the USA. So here's how it works, folks. Here's how it works. Let's talk about compliance. Compliance is a repetitive task. Every single year, here we go again, right? Here we go again. And we're looking for efficiencies, so we want systemization. Who are the multi-partner firms in the room? Who's a multi-partner firm? Hands up. Multi-partner firm? Multi-owner firm? Hands up. There's more than one, right? 2, 3, 4. Okay. Who is a who are these sole owner firms? Sole practitioner? Sole practitioners? Hands up. Okay. Do you not understand what I'm talking about here? There's either one of you or a few of you. Well, Vin, help me out here, right? We should have done our terminology yesterday on our debrief. So, multi-partner firms, you know that if you've got multi-partners, there's more than one way of doing everything. To get efficiencies, we want one way. Let's systemize it to get one way. We want to automate. How do we get maximum efficiency? Now, if you're a labor-for-hire business model, you should not be interested in this. And then we get to commoditized services and get packaged services. When something is packaged or commoditized, what happens next? What happens next when something is commoditized? price pressure, and intense competition. Now, the cool thing is, in my country of Australia, and we call New Zealand our country as well, we are about 5 years ahead of you in this particular topic of cloud accounting in the small business space. About 5 years ahead. And so this next 2 slides is my little coming to you from the future speech. Because we were about 10% about 5 years ago. I do believe that it's going faster now than the last 5 years as far as the penetration of cloud accounting in the small business sector. But let's say, so I'm going to show you what happens, and we'll see a show of hands if you can relate to this. Let's say you've got 10,000 capacity hours. 10,000 hours to do the client work. So you might have 5 or 6 or 7 accountants, and it takes 10,000 hours on the old system, where the client is on the old hard drive, old paper-based Excel spreadsheet, whatever it is, system. And you start flipping your clients across to a far more better, robust, accurate system with cloud accounting. In year 1, it's about same of volume of hours from you. But in year 2, 3, 4, and 5, we start to shave time out of the actual client work. So that means the accounting firm is far more efficient when the client is on a better system. Who can relate to this? That when you've switched your clients across to a cloud accounting system, hands up on this one, you are more efficient. Hands up if that's you. Yeah, you are, right? So you just know it. So if you were to switch them all across, that gap there, that is capacity. What would you do with the capacity? You've got real capacity by technology change to do something more. What would you do with the capacity? More clients? What else? More services? What else? You know what? You could be like Glenn Barnett. So in June last year, a year ago, I see Glenn. I hadn't seen Glenn for a little while. I was in Sydney. And Glenn says, Rob, let me tell you what's up. I said, mate, what's up? He said, 2 years ago, I was doing $1.2 million in revenue with 12 people. Today, I'm doing $1.2 million with 6 people. I said, what did you do? And he put up 2 hands. He said, for the last 2 years, I've switched all bar a handful of my clients across to cloud accounting. We became 50% more efficient, so I fired half my team. And then he says, their salaries are my new profit. How cool's that? Yeah. They clapped in America last week, but that's okay. So New Zealand. New Zealand has had cloud since 2008. As far as, and Xero kicked this off, really marketing this in the Southern Hemisphere, Australia, New Zealand, 2008. And we've been tracking, remember New Zealand, 50% penetration. We've been tracking the profit per partner of New Zealand accounting firms since 2004. Every year we get the new numbers, and bear in mind, New Zealand has about the same population as you of headcount, about 5 million, and they have about the same number of accounting firms, about 2,000. So very similar market to you. And about the same number of small businesses. They've got 452,000 small businesses. You're about the same. So in 2004, the average profit per partner in New Zealand was $176,000. $176,000. So that's going to be about 90,000 euro. So that's going to be, you work out the numbers, okay? Cool. Every year in my spreadsheet, I add 5%. CPI plus a bit. Because I figure they should at least be doing 5% of profit per partner additional. So fast forward to 2016, the profit per partner should be $313,000. The blue line is my spreadsheet, the red line is reality. The profit per partner in New Zealand last year was $200,608, a 57% differential, yet 50% of their clients are on a far better system, and yet they're 50% more efficient. So why? We started digging around. What's going on? As your clients are more efficient, you're more efficient, but your profit's gone backwards. We found 3 things. Number 1, they were not pricing up front. They were not pricing jobs up front. So consequently, as they got more efficient, if they are doing time-based billing in arrears, if you are 50% more efficient, you have to double your charge rates to make the same money. Pricing up front, fixed fee. Number 2, they did not readjust their cost structure. So cost structure, outsourcing, offshoring, Glenn Barnett gets rid of some of the people, And you see, with humans are funny. They fill the available time with what work they have to do. So if you're pricing up in arrears, you can't see the efficiencies. And the third thing they did not do is they did not refill that capacity with value-based fees. They did not refill that capacity with new clients. Don't let this happen to you, because it will happen unless you manage this. And in the next 2 sessions after this, we're going to talk about how we manage all of that. Let's go to the UK. The UK, Xero did a software provider, did a survey of 2,000 of their customers, 2,000 accounting firms, 2,000 of their small businesses filled in a survey. And one of the key questions they asked last October was, what do you think your relationship with your accountant might be in the next 10 years? 59% of those small businesses said, I don't think we'll need an accountant in the next 10 years. Why? Because they can see the software is getting so sophisticated that it's doing the job they used to pay for with the accountant. Let me show you some business models. Check this out.
Hi, I'm Emmy. Every year, I dread doing my taxes. It's so expensive and always takes forever. This year will be different. I'm using Tada. Forget the lines and high fees at the tax store. For just $20, I'm handing off my taxes to a pro, and I can do it all on my phone. I text with Tada, and in the time it takes to get my coffee, they have all the info they need to do my taxes. Next, I take photos of my documents. I just snap send, and my part is done. Tada takes it from here and gets to work, searching for every deduction and credit I deserve. And instead of wasting my time in an office, I get to sit back and relax while someone else crunches the numbers. They even sign it, so I know it's done right. I just review and approve, and my refund is on its way. Ta-da! Ta-da! I just got my taxes done for $20 on my way to work. Now all I have to worry about is how to spend my refund. Hand off your taxes to a pro for $20 with Tada.
20 bucks. 20 bucks for an app. I know that's low level, but what about when that technology becomes mainstream? Developed by Intuit, released last January. 20 bucks. Check out this. Business model. Expert 360. We'll go low level, we'll go high level. Expert 360 has 10,000 consultants all over the world hanging out. This is Uber for consultants. Hanging out on this website, looking for projects. These consultants used to work at the big consulting companies, Bain, McKinsey, Booz Allen, these types, right? Now, and they're big charge rates before, maybe €750 an hour. Now, because they're working from home, same person, average is 95 an hour. Different business models playing out. Here's Athena from San Francisco. Check this out on the video, and I'll tell you more about Athena.
Hi, we're Athena. We're the accounting and HR experts you can hire today. Hundreds of businesses just like yours have chosen Athena for peace of mind. From seed stage to Series C, we have you covered. Running a nonprofit or small business? We can help you too. Just like we're helping AngelList. With Athena, you know that you're in good hands with our licensed CPAs and HR specialists. You'll have a dedicated team that makes sure you're running your business on the best technology available and takes care of all the rest. Need bookkeeping? We got it. Need monthly financials? Done. Payroll? In the bag. Employee onboarding and benefits? Our pleasure. 6 years ago, founder Kristen Goldstein, mom of 3, realized that using technology, we could bring hundreds of moms back to work. Talented superstar moms from top accounting and HR firms. So that's what we've done. Meet Jennifer Miller, one of our CPA moms based in Sacramento. Jennifer's helped dozens of startups and nonprofits since joining Backups, in addition to being a great mom. So, what are you waiting for? Get peace of mind. Hire Athena today and bring another mom back to work.
So, Kristen Goldstein's a friend of mine, and I was at her house last June with her husband, Mark, and I said, Kristen, what's your goal with Athena? She said, I want to put 1 million mums back to work. 1 million. Low cost, no cost, working from home. How are you going to compete with this? This is how Google invested heavily in that company. What about this one here? CountUp, Again, Uberization of accounting. We'll do your taxes from 150, payroll from 29 a month, CFO on demand from 250. We'll do forecasting from 150 and corporation from 125. Different business models playing out. Or this one here called tax file. Check this out.
Looking for a better way to do your taxes? With the Tax File app, submitting has never been easier. Licensed CPAs are available 24/7 at your fingertips. Save time and money and do it the easy way.
And as Ricky says, we're turning the traditional CPA firm upside down. Let's go to Germany. This one came through last year on my newsfeed. It says, goodbye accountants. Startup builds AI, artificial intelligence, to automate all your accounting. It's called SMAC. Don't know why, but anyway, it's called SMAC. So I go a bit deeper. The headline got me, right? And here we have this company in Germany that if you're a tiny business at 200,000 euro in revenue, 50 euros a month for everything. If you're doing up to 500,000, 100 euros a month for everything. 10 million, 400, how are you going to compete with this? This is playing out on a global scale. How are you going to compete when the government systems are upgraded and they seamlessly interact with the accounting system? Just like in New Zealand, where as a small business, I can go click from my accounting software and file and lodge my taxes directly with the government and bypass the accountant. And the same is about to happen in Australia as well. Let's go a little bit higher level. This will happen here. Who's familiar with Project Watson from IBM? Project Watson? A few of you are. Cool. So not most of you are not. So let me tell you about Watson. Watson is a supercomputer. IBM spent billions of dollars on this. And Watson is a super smart artificial intelligence that gets smarter as it works. And for example, Watson beat the two sharpest dudes in the world at Jeopardy a few years back. Let me play the video reel, and then I'll tell you what an accounting firm is doing with Watson. Check this out.
Technology has helped us go further, go faster, go to the moon, solve problems previous generations couldn't imagine. But can technology think? Watson can. IBM Watson is a technology unlike any that's come before. Because rather than force humans to think like a computer, Watson interacts with humans on human terms. Watson can read and understand natural language, like the tweets, texts, articles, studies, and reports that make up as much as 80% of the data in the world. A simple internet search can't do that. When asked a question, Watson generates a hypothesis and comes up with both a response and a level of confidence. And then Watson shows you the steps it took to get to that response. In a way, Watson is reasoning. You don't program Watson, you work with Watson. And through your interactions with it, it learns, just like we do. Every experience you give it makes it smarter and faster. But in addition to learning, Watson can also teach. A new generation of doctors are helping Watson learn the language of medicine. In turn, Watson is helping teach doctors by providing possible treatment options. Watson is learning the language of finance to help investment advisors recommend the best way to plan for retirement. The IBM Watson Engagement Advisor can react to a caller's questions and help operators find the right answers faster. The IBM Watson Discovery Advisor helps researchers uncover patterns that are hiding in mountains of data and then share these new insights with colleagues. With Watson Analytics, you can ask Watson a question, and Watson can show you what the data means in a way that's easy for anyone to understand and share. The IBM Watson Developers Cloud offers software vendors and developers the technology and tools they need to take advantage of Watson's cognitive power. Accessible on the cloud, anytime. Watson needs you. This generation of problem solvers is going to learn much faster with Watson, and Watson, in turn, will learn much faster with us. Developers will solve new problems. Business leaders will ask bigger questions. And together, we'll do things generations before couldn't dream of. What will you do with Watson?
Up until February 7 this year, I used to say, well, just think Siri for business and get your idea about that. Then on February 7, Super Bowl Sunday, this happened.
It is one of the most powerful tools our species has created. It helps doctors fight disease. It can predict global weather patterns. It improves education for children everywhere. And now, we unleash it on your taxes.
Hello, my name is Watson.
Yep, IBM Watson in the hands of H&R Block tax professionals. Creating a future where every last deduction and credit is found. A future of more money going back into the pockets of more families. This is the future H&R Block is building. Welcome to Taxes One. H&R Block with Watson. Get your taxes one.
70,000 accountants on payroll now have access to technology, the world's first accounting firm to use Watson. Let's have a look at what 3 of your vendors are up to. First of all, who's familiar with Xero? Xero, X-E-R-O, a few of you are, cool. So Xero started in New Zealand and about 1 million subscribers or so. They're not so much here in Norway, but at their annual conference last year, there was the CEO, Rod Drury, who you're about to meet. Rod did his customary 45-minute speech, and I trimmed it down to 3 minutes. I figured the rest was a bit of fluff. And so you're about to see what one of your vendors is up to, spend a lot of money on this technology. Check this out.
Accounting is really hard for small business. None of them have done the training we've done. In fact, the ones that have done a little bit of training are probably worse than the ones that have done none, right? So we ask small businesses to code transactions. They got no freaking clue. Think about a mobile device. You got, a tradie out there with big fat fingers punching stuff in, and at the end of it, we ask them to code a transaction. Jeepers. You might as well throw a dart at a board. So we started to challenge ourselves. Can we make the chart of accounts invisible for the business owner? Yes, we can. So in the next version of invoicing, we're doing a lot of A/B testing with this. This comes out very shortly. We're going to start dropping the chart of accounts. Oh my God. So it's still there, but we think the machine can do it better than small business owners, and you guys can come and fix it up because you've got things like find and recode. So you'll still see it because you're trained professionals, but we don't need a small business to even do that. They just need to do their business. Isn't that interesting? Hold on to your hats. So we looked at BankRec. BankRec's a big model problem. We processed 44 million lines of bank stuff last month, so about $500 million a year. So the amount of data we get from that is incredibly huge. When we looked at that, 9 out of 10 on our first pass, we can code. BankRec goes away. Goes away. So you think about that, right? It was so interesting when we first came out with Xero, and our big first design epiphany was, let's get your bank transactions loaded up to Xero in the morning and start your day off, and you'll know exactly where you're at. And the small businesses are coding their things every day to eliminate that horror of catch up before a BAS return is due. We're now going a whole step further. They don't need to do that anymore. We can code that better. And if what will happen is if we do sign something we don't know, we can go and ask, and the machine keeps learning. So this holy grail of coding going away goes away. It actually happens because of that very deliberate technology strategy we've been working with, and a lot of discovery as we've been playing with AI and machine learning. We're now solving this massive, massive problem. So we've done these problems. We've done cross-practice reporting. As a company, we are focused on eliminating coding. This, I think, is one of the biggest changes that's ever happened to accounting ever. And you think about how many millions of hours are wasted by small businesses across the world coding transactions. It's going away.
What did he just say? What did he actually just say? At the small business end, the coding's going away. So what does that mean at your end? Far less checking and processing, and far less humans needed. Or you can redeploy the humans to do more useful things for your clients. I promised you at the start, the world's first accounting robot, released 4 weeks ago in the UK.
Hi, I'm Pug. I am an accounting robot made by Sage which helps you run your business. I love purchase ledgers.
Well, who doesn't? Can you tell us what the future of accounting actually look like?
The next accounting revolution is here, an era that will make all of our lives easier.
And why are robots important to this journey?
In our world where admin is invisible, AI and robots like me make running your business as easy as talking to a friend, giving you more time to do what you love.
Can you do a real task? Can you send a holiday approval request to my boss, Nick Good, please?
Got it. Have a happy holiday, Critty.
Thanks, Peg. Goodbye. Getting there.
Robots, machine learning, artificial intelligence. Let me show you what Intuit is up to. So last October, I had the pleasure of speaking at their conference in San Jose, in California, and they released a video, and there was about 5,000 people there, all shapes and sizes. And anyway, I got a pirated copy of this because they weren't supposed to release it. But about 3 months ago, they officially released this particular video, and you're about to see a lady called Naomi in the back of a car. And as she's talking to her device, she'll talk. And Naomi, by the way, owns a bakery shop. So as she's talking to the device, she'll say QB, as in QuickBooks. So think Siri, but for accounting.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, QB. Add the Lobster Shack as a new customer.
Congratulations, Naomi. And done.
Great. And can you invoice them $30,000 every month starting today?
Absolutely. What are you delivering?
500 loaves of sourdough every morning right as they open.
Wow, that's your biggest deal ever. At that price, your profit will be 5%. On average, it's 17. Is this okay?
Surprised I had to go with to get the deal. Go ahead and send it. Oh, and let Charlie know about the deliveries.
Okay. I added their opening times to his calendar.
Hey, QB, let's look for some ways to increase the margin.
Well, with your increased volume, you could buy flour in bulk directly from a miller. If you went with simple flour milling, you'd save about 10%.
What's that tally?
About $13,000 a year. Or 3,000 of those half-cap, no-whip mochachinos you like so much.
Right. And what's the downside?
You'll have to pay up front, and that means you'll be short $4,202 for payroll next week.
Are any options to cover?
Working on it? Yes, I found 3. Borrow on a few invoices, open a new line of credit, or take an advance from your credit card.
Let's see what Stacy thinks.
Playing a message from your accountant.
Good job landing Lobster Shack. Since they're gonna be a recurring and high volume client, I think if you switch suppliers and go with simple flour, you'll be fine after the first month. To make your payroll next week, the cleanest and cheapest option is gonna be the loan against your receivables or your open invoices. Let me know if you have any other questions or if there's anything else I can help with.
Hey, QB, you get that?
Working on it. Funds will be available by Wednesday. Plenty of time to make Friday's payroll.
Thanks for the lift.
You're welcome. Hey, QB, you sure are popular.
I serve over 10 million businesses around the world and speak 37 languages. But I'm never too busy for you, John.
All right, so I just picked up another 15 bucks. How much have I made driving versus designing this month?
With driving at $22 an hour, you've made almost $1,100. With designing at $50 an hour, you've made $700.
And I'm gonna finish up the toy store job tomorrow. Could you let them know their new logo will be ready in the afternoon?
I marked your calendar and notified them.
Sounds good.
Drive safe, John.
What just happened? The human became an app. This is disruption playing out right before your eyes. In a few hours, we're going to leave this room. You know, what are you going to do? Are you just going to be like my sole practitioner here? Or my three-partner firm? And do nothing and say, oh, no, that'll never happen here? You can't stop this happening here. So what do I think you need to do? I think just like the travel agents, you need to change your business model and stop being a redundant data accountant and be a real-time accountant, and there's a massive difference. Redundant data accountants, they offer advice late or not at all. Real-time accountants, they predict and offer advice before it happens. Redundant data accountants, they do processing work and admin. Real-time accountants, they add value-added service that actually help. Redundant data accountants, they wait. Accountants are amazing waiters. They wait for the client to come in, the phone to ring, the email to ping, now we'll do something. No, you've got to be on the front foot making it happen. Redundant data accountants, the majority of revenue is in compliance versus the majority of the revenue is in business advisory. Redundant data accountants say price in arrears after the fact versus price in every project up front. Redundant data accountants that don't visit or call me versus visit and call on a systematic basis. Redundant data accountants that don't follow up, they're always following up. 3 more lines for your photographs, by the way. There's 3 more to go. And they don't promote latest thing, they're always promoting. Redundant data accountants, most clients on a hard drive accounting system. You cannot be a real-time accountant unless the client is on an internet-based accounting system. And you know what? These systems are getting so powerful that the numbers power goes back to the client. The numbers power rests with the client. Your job as real-time accountants is to, now you can take your photos, is to bring the numbers power back to the accountant. This is where it's all at. Switching from being a redundant data accountant to a real-time accountant. And building a different business. Building your version of a perfect firm. Let me share with you what I think the perfect firm looks like. Then we'll have a break, and then we'll start building on that. Number 1. This perfect firm is very, very centric on its model. It understands its business model. It's not charging by the hour. It's very purpose-centric. Understands why it does what it does. All about, purpose, and very, very clear on that. Understands value. Value pricing, but also adding value. Those 2 or 3 screens on your desk right now, unless you're going to add value to the data in front of you, let me not put not too fine a point on it, your days are numbered. The machine will do it itself. Add value. Very efficiency-centric. Making sure that how do we automate the function so we get capacity. Very culture-centric. If you've got partners, leaders, who won't sell or can't sell, they're overpaid accountants and surplus to requirements as a partner. That's going to hurt some of them. Culture. Understanding we have a culture of service. Understanding clients. Then where every client that you want to keep is buying every service that they need that helps them achieve their goals. Very marketing-centric, employs marketing people. And lastly, very services-centric. Making sure as a trusted advisor that all clients are buying all services they need, which you deliver. The perfect firm, your perfect firm, is whatever you want it to be. Thank you.